Over the past 50 years, literally millions of video games have been created, and I'm sure you've got your favorites. However, from a cultural standpoint, what are the most important and influential games of all time? This is my top 10 list. We'll start with the very first video game. Number 10, Tennis for Two. The first video game was created in 1958 by William Higginbotham using an oscilloscope. It was naturally a very rudimentary form of tennis using transistor circuits to feed images onto the screen, and yes, it was a two-player game. The video game industry owes its existence to Tennis for Two. Number 9, Space Invaders. The arcade classic two-dimensional fixed shooter game from 1978. It quadrupled sales of the Atari 2600 in 1980. It helped to expand the video game genre like nothing else. It's been a source of parody in movies and TV shows and has become somewhat of a pop culture icon. That leads us to another gaming icon, number 8, Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man was more successful than its iconic predecessor and offered new mazes, better graphics and gameplay. It was insanely popular and appeared in every arcade and shopping mall in America. And of course, because it followed Pac-Man, which in itself was very successful, it proved for the first time that video game series could be consistently successful. Number 7, Wolfenstein 3D. Widely regarded as the grandfather of the first-person shooter genre, this game established so many game elements we now take for granted from modern first-person shooter titles. Though primitive by today's standards, you can see how it gave birth to games like Doom, Duke Nukem, and of course Quake. Number 6, Street Fighter II. Capcom's competitive fighting game took things one step further than its successful predecessor. The player engages opponents in one-on-one close-quarter combat with a selection of 12 playable characters. I played the Turbo edition of this game, which was fast-paced and particularly awesome with 2 players. Number 5, Final Fantasy. The Final Fantasy series took role-playing games to a whole other level and was responsible for developing tactical role-playing, action role-playing, and MMORPGs. It popularized many elements about the genre, such as the class change system, activity-based progression, and different methods of transportation. Number 4, StarCraft. GameSpot describes StarCraft as the defining game of its genre. It is the standard by which all real-time strategy games are judged. Set in Earth's 25th century, the game tells the story of 3 opposing species fighting for control of the Coprolus sector of the Milky Way galaxy. The game has been praised for its storytelling and for pioneering the use of unique factions in an RPG game. Number 3, Half-Life, Valve's classic first-person shooter that introduced us to Black Mesa and the rather stoic Gordon Freeman. It's the most atmospheric and immersive story-driven first-person shooter I've ever played, until Half-Life 2 came along, of course. Clever bad guys, ingenious level design, and environments that challenged you to think your way out of obstacles, hazards, and dangerous situations. Half-Life remains a classic and an influential game in the pantheon of first-person shooter titles. Number 2, Grand Theft Auto 3. The series has courted controversy for its violent themes from the start and will no doubt continue to, but GTA 3 introduced wide, expansive open worlds and free roaming along with non-linear gameplay and minor missions. There's no doubt they are fun games to play, and I don't even need to get started on how popular the franchise has become. That leads us to number 1, well, it has to be on the list, Super Mario Bros. The Nintendo classic that truly popularized the platform game genre and revolutionized graphical game design. It gave us things like power-ups and left-to-right screen scrolling, and also rudimentary environmental physics. Mario is of course the definition of groundbreaking, and not only did it produce a myriad of Mario-based sequels, but of course it gave us such games as Sonic the Hedgehog, birthing so many successful platform-based franchise games. So guys, that was my list of the most important and influential video games that have ever been created, but I'm curious, is there a video game that you believe should make the list? Please comment below and let me know. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and of course hit that big red subscribe button to keep up to date with everything that's happening on this channel. Check out Bruce Naylor's channel, The Frugal Tech. Bruce is an IT support professional and a great tech analyst. If you enjoy tech content, you will love his channel. So head on over there and subscribe or follow the link below in the description. Once again, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.